percent of a number. This is a digital lesson, and it teaches students how to find the percentage of a number using bar models and diagrams. And it also teaches the students how to do this mathematically. So starting on slide 2, it's just going to show the students a diagram of 100 squares. So 50% would be 50 of those squares shaded in, 50 out of 100, or 1/2. So the next slide, they're just going to type in the percentage by counting the shaded in squares. So you can see 7 are shaded, so this would be 7%. And it's a really good visual for the students. And then the next slide, they're going to count. They can count by tens here, 10, 20, 30, 40, 45. They're going to type in 45. Now the next slide, students are going to be using the fill color feature of Google Slides, and they're going to fill in the 61% on this one. So to do that, they're going to click and hold in the corner square, and they're going to shade across. We're going to start with 60, 6 rows. Once they have it shaded in, they come up to this fill color feature, and they can choose any color they like. And then they need one more square for 61%. The next slide, they're going to do the same thing with 38%. Then it explains how we're going to use bar models to find the percent of a number. So on the next slide, they're going to divide 80 into 4 equal sections, and then divide 100 into 4 equal sections. So we've got these two bars, and they're equivalent to each other. So if we want to find 50% of 80, now they may be able to do this in their head, but we want them to see this visually. So if we divide 80 into 4 equal sections, they're going to type in 20 in each section, and that would equal 80. Now they've got an equivalent bar model down here showing percent. So if we divide 100% into 4 equal sections, each one would be 25. So they're going to type in 25. Now we want to know 50%. So here we're going to shade in 50%, which would be two 25s. So click and hold, scroll across, and then again they can choose any color they like. That same amount in the bar above, they're going to shade in also. And we can see that 50% of 80 would be 40. And that's what we shaded in the top row. Now they're going to do the same thing on the next slide. Now you can do some of these with the students. If you feel they're ready, they can do some on their own. 75% of 44. So we're going to first divide 44 into 4 equal sections. So each section would be 11. They're going to type in 11. And an equivalent bar showing 100%, if we divide that again into 4 equal sections, it would be 25%. And we want to find 75%. So 75% would be 3 of these squares. So again, click and hold. They're going to shade it in and then choose a color. And then that same amount on the top row. And all we need to do is add those 3 numbers together and we get 33. So 75% of 44 would be 33. They're going to do that a few more of these. 40% of 45. This time we're dividing each into 5 equal sections. And then here, 30% of 70, we're going to divide each of these into 10 equal sections. And then the last one, we've got the number 250, so it's a bigger number here, and they have to divide each into 5 equal sections. Now, the next slide shows students how to do this mathematically. So to find the percent of a number, we change your percentage to a decimal and multiply. And on this slide, all the students are going to be doing is just changing a percentage to a decimal. Get some practice doing that. They're going to move that decimal point 2 places to the left, and they're going to type that in. OK, and finish that. And then when they get down to the final slide, they're going to find the percent of a number, and it gives an example in the top row. So we're going to change that percentage to a decimal and multiply. So if we change 10% to a decimal and then multiply, and they can use calculators if you like in order to calculate the answer. So that is percent of a number digital lesson.